I admit it, I like to play with my food. Sometimes I create dishes just to enjoy different colors and flavors, like pizza, topped with orange slices of roasted acorn squash, white gorgonzola cheese, and peppery green arugula sprinkled right on top. Fresh white tilapia fillets wrapped in purple potato slices, topped with a green chive and rosemary flavored olive oil. And to satisfy my sweet tooth, a peach-colored mango cheesecake with a bright sweet basil and lemon syrup. Today you can unleash your creative side and have fun with food. Pizza is the ultimate fun food. The possibilities are endless. Sweet and spicy flavors play off of each other in my colorful roasted squash and gorgonzola pizza. The first thing I want to do for my pizza is roast my acorn squash. Now, what I love about acorn squash is it's not as sweet as butternut squash, and it has these beautiful little ridges. So what I want to do is cut both ends off. There we go. See how pretty they are? I love the ridges. So we're going to cut it in half. Acorn squash kind of has a nutty flavor to it. I know, it sounds kind of weird for a pizza, but I'm telling you, with the gorgonzola cheese, it is going to be divine. Not only is it going to taste great, it's going to look beautiful. And that's the whole point. We're having fun with food. So you want to use lots of different colors and textures and flavors to create something really extraordinary out of these really simple ingredients. All right, so now that we've got that, I'm going to take my acorn squash and I just want to cut little rings out of it. So there we go. Let's make sure they're all separate. Now to sweeten it up just a little bit, I'm going to add some maple syrup. Couple tablespoons. See, look at that, nice and thick. A little bit of salt, a little bit of black pepper. Gotta season the acorn squash. And I wanna add some red pepper flakes. And we're gonna add a little bit of olive oil. And then, I just wanna kind of turn it all around just to make sure that the oil and the salt and the pepper, everything sort of coats all of the acorn squash. And see how pretty that looks? Perfect. And now I'm gonna put it on my baking sheet and just kind of spread it all out because you want to make sure that they don't overlap so they can roast evenly and get nice and golden brown. So I'm going to pop this in the oven at 375 for 20 to 25 minutes, and in the meantime, I'm going to roll out my dough. So I'm just using a 1 pound store-bought pizza dough. All right, time to grate some cheese. So just like that. All right, there we go. So now we've got the mozzarella. Get it all out. We'll take the pizza dough. So we're just gonna add the mozzarella right on top. Okay. We're also going to add a little bit of gorgonzola cheese. Now the gorgonzola will add a nice spicy sharp bite to the pizza. And you only need about a half a cup. So a cup of mozzarella and a half a cup of gorgonzola. Now before I bake the pizza, I got to take my acorn squash out. Look at that. Nice and golden brown. They shrink a little bit when they cook, but they look so pretty with the little ruffled edges. So, so nice. Okay, so now it's time to bake the dough. 25 to 30 minutes at 375 degrees. And then after that, it's time to top the pizza. Looks so good. You can smell that gorgonzola. I like it. So while that cools for a minute, I'm gonna take my acorn squash that has already cooled off, and I'm gonna peel the skin. And you could do this with, again, with pumpkin, with butternut squash, any kind of squash you like. And it's so pretty. So now I want to top it with a little bit of arugula right over the top. Some fresh peppery arugula. Let's just take the paper, move it right over to the board. I just want to add a little bit of extra virgin olive oil right over the top. This is a little Neapolitan trick my grandfather always does over fresh pizza. It gives a little bit of flavor too to the arugula. We'll add a little bit of salt and just a tiny bit of freshly ground black pepper over the top, just to finish off the pizza. Now, time to cut it. There we go. Oh, look at that. Looks so good. I'm gonna cut myself a little slice. Look how beautiful that looks. Okay, so now take the pizza, put the arugula right over the top. That's my slice. That dough is so good. And of course, you get a cheesy bite from the gorgonzola cheese and a nice creaminess from the mozzarella because it melts all over the dough. It's colorful, it's fun, and this is gonna brighten up any table.